All right. One sec.
All right.
Yo.
Yo. Oh, shit. How do we fix this?
This is gonna be an insane year.
It is. Give me a second. How do we fix this? We're on different sides.
Oh shit. Change. I think it goes by name. So like, hold on. If you like change my nickname or whatever in the call
Oh,
to something like that's past R or whatever, I think it'll be on the right.
okay. That makes sense, actually, yeah.
Yeah, Discord's actually like weird about that.
Alright. So just add friend nickname?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's friend nickname. I think it's right click on my name on the server.
Yeah.
This should be add server nickname, I think.
Change nickname. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if this works.
There we go.
Bang! Let's go. Yeah,
Wait,
W
why?
ball knowledge right there.
Yeah, it's actually weird that Discord's like that.
Alright, you ready?
I'm ready.
Alright, guys. Welcome back to the Duoq. As you can probably tell, we've done some rebranding, a few changes here. As always, I'm your boy Rev, and this is your new co-host Mordo. Mordo, say hi.
What's going on, guys? Excited to be here. I can't wait for the season.
Neither can I, man. Obviously we had a really long off season, no episodes or anything like that. But we're back for the season, hoping to keep it consistent. We had some issues last year with consistency. We're gonna try to get rid of those issues now. Um, for this season, expect there to be some guests. Hopefully, a lot more guests. We've had some in the past, challenger coaches, what have you. Hope to branch out a little bit more, get some more people in here, some more hands in the pot, But as it stands, Mordo is the new co host. And yeah, I mean, we're just excited to get into this and get grinding.
Yeah, no, I'm ready. And love Comp COD, dude. I've been watching it for like what, 13 years now. Finally, nice to be able to talk about it every
Yeah,
week.
yeah, 100%. Um, Tell us a little about your past with some comp cod.
Like I said, I watched it my whole life. Grew up playing COD, so me and a couple IRL buddies actually about an MW2 season. We took our hand at it. We won a couple tourneys here and there. I still get thrashed by pros, I won't lie, but
I don't know about
I
all that.
have
That boy's
beat
nasty.
I have beat like top 32 challenger teams. Like we've had our fair share at like being like decent at the game. So I have a fair knowledge on how the game should be played at the highest level. And yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we met playing in the CML. You know,
yeah,
boy's gross.
thrashed absolutely everyone. Sovereign, fuck that guy. That guy's gross.
Oh,
Oh, he dismantled us.
Sav was a CML demon.
Sob's gross,
All right,
but
let's hop into some BO7. It's obviously been a couple weeks since the game's been out. They just came out with the patch today, adjusting the aim assist a little bit. I was on there a little bit, seeing some of the difference, and it's looking like the Raiden sub is gonna be mainly used. The TTK on that thing is ridiculous. It shreds, and now that they buffed the subs, it's looking like they might be actually viable now. The M15 is way worse close range. They made some aim assist changes long range, I believe. So I'm hoping that it's not too much. I haven't really tested it that far, but I really liked where the game was at with the lack of aim assist that it had.
yeah, no, I get that. I didn't really mind the aim assist too much, but it definitely hurt the subs way more because I mean you feel it in that closer range. To where you get nothing at all. So
Yeah,
it kind of made that RNG gunfight with a sub to an AR at close range. 'Cause, I mean, if you're a pro and you get literally like I don't know if you felt it, but like in 10 meters you get no aim assist
yeah,
at all.
no,
And
100%.
I haven't gotten the chance to hop on today, but I hope it's a little stickier in that regard. But I didn't mind it like long range. It still felt there, but like not OP.
Yeah.
And as someone as like I pride myself on my shot, I don't have any issues in this game,
Hmm.
but I don't know. I think it's needed for that extra skill gap, so I hope they don't over tune it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I mean, I think the point where it was just the M15, everybody was running 8 M15s. It was the do it all. You could shotgun people close range and rip people long. Like
It's
it's
awful.
just too much movement speed on an AR, I think personally. I think subs should have a lot more movement speed. I mean, I saw the flank yesterday and they were talking about it, and Benjay and Zuma actually had like really good points on. They think like if you're running a sub, your movement speed should be based off the primary that you're running. So if you're running the sub, you should have a sub's movement speed. If you're running an AR, you should have an AR's movement speed. I really like that idea, to be honest with you. I wish they did that. I'm hoping it feels a lot better now. Obviously, I haven't had too much time on it since it just came out, but I'm hopeful.
Uh, I'm hopeful too. I think the M15, and I hate to be the GA fella. I think this should go. I think there's a couple ARs that are actually like viable, like the I don't even know the name of it, but the one with the underbarrel launcher. I think that's actually a good AR. I think it's good, but I know they're saying they're trying to get and they're still as broken, but it's like
I think
it's just the thing. That one has more recoil a little bit than the M15.
I think all the
But
ARs
not as
can have an
fast.
underbarrel launcher. I think you're thinking of the DS20.
Yeah, it has like a built-in underbarrel launcher. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, okay, okay.
But I mean, like, just don't use it. That's the only like bad thing about it because like you can't like make that a thing. Then ranked play comes around, everyone's cheesing an underbarrel launcher and
Yeah.
ranked
I
play unless they
think
just give you no ammo.
I think they were screwing with the DS20. In my opinion, all the ARs were way overpowered. I mean,
They're overtuned, and I'm surprised that we didn't see any nerfs like in this patch because the M15, like you said, it's too fast. The fire rate's too fast. It's like it's a do-it-all gun. It's
yeah.
it's really really bad, and it's like I know they're trying to adjust the attachments for it, which
Yeah.
is which is one way to go, and I think you have to go that route.
Yeah, I know they were trying to implement the fat stock. They took the muzzle off. I was agreeing with most of what the ARs were actually agreeing. They were saying they need to get that out of there. But there's really like they tried using other ARs. The ARs are all just as good or better as the M15. I personally like the M15. I just don't like how do it all it is. I don't like how crazy it is. So I'm glad they dropped the damage for close range and mid range. I'm glad they did that. So now it's like a 5 bullet close up. So the subs should be out there now, especially in the scenarios where you need a sub and not an M15, because those gunfights are just weird if it's four ARs and you're in a close ass room. Um,
It is weird. And it's a lot of like if you watch it, it's a lot of people just hip firing, wall bouncing.
I
Or
saw a disgusting hip fire in it was I think it was Arcides in a chow, and he
oh, I
literally just
saw
got
that.
4 bullet all hip fire from like 20
You
meters away, just zapped him. It was
couldn't do anything. The
ridiculous.
guy's holding a stun too or something, and it's like,
Yeah,
dude,
he got
what do you
he
do?
got stunned and everything. So that was ridiculous to see. So hoping we can figure out what's good now. Pretty soon here. I know that Optic is like scrimming right now. They should have some sauce. I think they're scrimming phase right now. So we'll see how that goes. Speaking of Optic, there's been a couple tournaments in the past couple weeks as the game has came out. They had that. I forgot the name of the first kickoff tournament, but then they followed up with the flank tournament. Um, and the flank tournament was two optic duos in the grand finals. Obviously, Dashi, Merc, Joe Deceives, and Real took that one home against Shotzi, Hook, Slasher, and Nero. It was pretty dominant grand finals, but the fact that there were two optic duos in that grand finals, I think that bodes pretty well for the season. To be honest with you,
Yeah, I think it says a lot, and I'm not here to down talk any pros, but the boys Shotzi and Hook were carrying Slasher to the final, so it's
you
like,
know what?
dude,
I
it's
will
looking good
say,
for her.
I will say, Slasher had a couple good games early on. He had a couple good
He,
games early
I
on.
will say he's been grinding. He's been grinding this.
He's
You
he's been there.
forget he's 30 when he's playing like how he's playing
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, bro. I can't believe that he's still in the league and Attach is gone, man. I really wanted Attach to stick around.
If you weren't like in the league, like you haven't been watching for a while, you would not know that's. I feel like you wouldn't know Slasher had been there for so long
Dude.
because he still plays really well.
Yeah.
And
He
I'm not gonna say it's
does.
a top AR, but you know, he's a vet. He does what he needs to. He's very consistent.
Yeah, well, the beginning of BO6, he was the best player on that team, I think, by far. He did really good at the beginning of BO6. And then they drop Vivid, and you see the team struggle a lot from there. He's still on Ravens and got his whole new roster going. Um, we'll probably save it for the next episode, go over all the rosters and preseason rankings. I think that's pretty fair to say. So we can pull
Yeah.
up all the graphics, everything, go over everyone's team. This is sort of just an intro to the season, get our toes wet and everything. Let's talk about a few of the more glaring changes. Off rip. Just go over them real quick. Legend is on Surge, made a roster.
It's kind of insane. I mean, I don't think he's ever played COD ever, right? And so they just took
He
the chance on him.
not at a professional level, never like that. And the only time I saw him playing COD was last year against Illy doing like 1v1s and stuff like that. I don't know how much experience he has, but I know it's not that much.
I know him and I know they all played ranked play and all got iridescent, but like
Mm,
it's not hard, especially when you're a professional player, you're just a grinder.
yeah,
Um, but I think he'll adapt to a lot of the modes. My real biggest thing is respawn hardpoint. That's probably the hardest mode to play if you don't really
yeah,
know what you're doing. Because you can't really because respawn in general, like hardpoint, it's hard just to slot yourself into a team as is.
yeah,
I feel like that's a lot of like weaknesses when someone picks up a team. Like you talk about Royal Ravens from last year. They were actually a decent hardpoint team, and I think that's why they're top four for a while. And they dropped Vivid, and they fell off hard and couldn't
yeah,
win anything hardpoint wise. And so it's hard to slot someone in, especially if you're picking up. Legend. He doesn't really know how to play the game mode, I don't think, as well. So it's gonna be a learning curve for sure, but I mean he's got time.
I think, to be honest with you, originally their roster, they were rumored to pick up like the whole entire Omit team. And I like that idea, to be honest. But the way they went about it this time, when they decided not to go that route and they decided to go a super young team with Gwyn and Legend, um, I honestly think that it's the best that they could do. Because if you think about it, all the talent is always at the top. There's three teams up there, and they dominate everything. So why not take a chance on a see if you can get a Simp or a Shotzi out of Legend. You know what I mean? You've seen Halo guys come over here and do great. I'm not saying that Legend is Shotzi because I don't think he's close to that. Personally, from a Halo
No,
or COD perspective, but he's
no,
nasty. He's nasty to say the
that's a
least.
generational talent
Um,
right there, Shotzi.
people were saying and comparing it to Shotzi, like Shotzi came in and he performed poorly. People forget that Shotzi was an S&D grinder before he played pro,
Oh
and
yeah,
and he played a lot of chows and stuff like that. So Shotzi had reps under his belt, got into the pro league, performed really poorly for a major, and then stepped it up. So Legends got a lot of growing room to do, and if they're not willing to suffer the downsides of being a bottom 12 team, bottom 4 team, um, you just you, you'd expect them to be prepared for the trials that they're about to go through this season, and you're gonna expect Legend to get absolutely leaked on for a sizable amount of the year at least, because that sort of turnaround is not common. So yeah, I think Seattle is just really hopeful with their super young talent pool, and I was more so worried about the team they have around him. Yes, it is the best idea to go young talent, see if you can make something happen with that and build on it. But when you got a player like Legend who's never really played the game before, you just it's really hard without having somebody with experience teaching you what to do. In that team, who's going to be the bomb planner, who's going to be,
yeah.
anchoring certain spawns, who's going to be first one out on rotations, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot to get without experience and they all have to learn it together. I know Gwen has a couple years being pretty good, but Gwen's Gwen's out of that phase where people are starting to look at him like, okay, is he only performing well online? Is he just kill whoring the whole time? Because there was a lot of stints last season where it was like, okay, he's obviously baiting his entire team right now, and it's not looking good for him. I'm a huge Gwen fan, to be honest with you.
I love Gwen,
Um, I was definitely pushing Gwen Rookie of the Year propaganda in MW3 100%. Um, but
but he was good though. He was good
he
in
was
MW3.
he was good. Last year, there's a lot of talk about him baiting his teammates and him kill whoring and stuff like that. You never really know if that's their plan going into it, whether they feel like or he feels like his teammates just can't get kills or what
I, I will say though, if you look at his early year, he struggled a lot in that beginning of the year. Their success, it kind of relied they couldn't break that top four because of Gwen. Really,
yeah,
it was like he was that superstar talent that they needed to really pop off, and he couldn't do it. And I think
yeah,
BO6 was a very like the maps played more fundamentally sound, and it wasn't the same fundamentals. I think you really just had to play the maps differently.
yeah.
And I didn't really like the spawn. Sometimes I felt like it didn't feel normal. I don't know if you like if you're playing a map and it feel normal. Like Red Card, I liked how Red Card played, but it's like some of the spawns didn't feel normal, if that makes sense.
No, I get
Like,
what you mean. COD the past, in recent years, the
yeah,
split spawns that just randomly
yeah,
happen on certain, that's just
and it's
like,
like it gets to the point where like in the game you can read it, you can read the
yeah,
split spawns once you play enough, but it still doesn't feel normal, and it's like they shouldn't be spawning there, but I know that they are. And so it kind of gets to that. So the game's playing a little bit different. And I think BO6, you can get in that bad habit, especially someone who it's Gwen's still new. It's the
yeah.
second year. He kind of got into the habit of like, all right, I gotta get kills because I'm not doing so good. And I think he started baiting his teammates, and then he started doing good, and that's just he adapted that play. But
Yeah.
I will say he's got fortunately for him, he's got a new year, new team. He's got a new guy that is here to learning the game. Now, I think we can't really compare him to Shotzi, Legend of Shotzi.
Yeah. No.
More of like compare him to Neptune, because I
I
mean,
agree with that.
Surge brought up Neptune. He went back to Halo, came back, and he performed well. But I mean, he obviously has again years of COD under his belt, and I think Neptune was good even in Vanguard. He got scapegoated. I'll never forgive
A
Crim Six
little
for
more
that.
than scapegoated. They bullied him off the roster.
That was insane.
That
But
was.
I'm glad he got his like shot back in the league, and they did good last year, four finals or whatever it was, and
Yeah.
it sucks they couldn't win. But I think every single one of those players are happy where they are now in the league,
Mm.
and I think if you're a legend, you kind of got to look at it that way. You're looking for if you don't get a win your first year, it's not the end of the deal, like end of the
Yeah.
world. Like you got wins in Halo, it's whatever. This is a different game, but reach for that top four, that finals. Try and learn something each major you play.
100%, 100%. And players don't get wins their first year usually. You got those rare talents like Hydra or you know what I mean. Oh,
Hercules.
Hydra didn't get a win his first year, did he? I don't think New York. I don't think Subliners won that year. Standy did. I know Standy did when he came in. Um,
No, New York they got second place, I believe.
okay, yeah. So I mean, you got Scrap,
But
but
they did
it's
have
pretty
like the
rare.
legendary run to get to champs.
Yeah,
So there's something, and it was off the back of Hydra. So it's like every like dominant pro usually has like a good breakout year,
yeah.
but I don't know. It really depends. I don't think he should
Speaking
have pressure, is what it
Yeah,
is.
I don't think so either. I think pressure's off for them. I think really pressure's on Gwen if anything. But speaking of Hydra, LAT made some splashes in roster mania. To be honest with you, uh, I love Abizi. I always thought that Abizi was the better of the two tiny terrors. Personal opinion. The fact that they got him on that roster is crazy. They picked up Kenny as well. I kind of wanted them to pick up Draws. I'm not really an LAT fan. I am a Thieves fan. Secondly, obviously Optic first. Um,
Gotta be.
but I don't know if I like the Kenny pickup off of a really bad year. Um, real shit. Um, you know, they had
Uh,
Draws and they couldn't bury the hatchet between Scrap and Draws. I think if that team would have formed, it would have been final. I don't think any other team, including Optic, would have stood very much of a chance. I think Optic would have put up a lot of fights. I think they would have won a couple, but I think in the grand scheme of things, Thieves would have taken the majority of the events home. So I'm not surprised that they pick up Kenny. Because even off of his bad year, he's Kenny. He's got a lot of wins. He wins a lot. He is super talented. He's won MVPs. He can
four
do it.
champs finals.
Yeah, he can do it. The question is will he be able to this year? Um, and
I will say the one thing about that is Draza would have been the ideal pick for that team because I think
100%.
that's probably one of the best super teams to contend with this Optic super team that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like FaZe went the route of we're killing everything, but we want to play the game right because we're not playing the game right. It's been that way for years.
Yeah.
And I think O4 and Abuza play the game right. Like they're consistently in playing whatever it takes to win the game. O4 especially. So I think that team will be good. They'll win a
Yeah.
major or two.
See,
But
I disagree with you.
I think they'll win a major. They might
Ah.
sneak in two, but I think Thieves win two, and I think Optic win two, and Thieves might win three.
See, I'll put it in this perspective from my point of view, right? Thieves definitely upgraded. Optic is still the best team in the game until something happens otherwise. FaZe downgraded severely. Downgraded severely. I think Abuza plays the game better than Cell, right? But they've always had hardpoint slash Well, not just hardpoint issues. They've had really bad hardpoint issues. Simp is flown under the radar. People aren't pointing this out because Simp has such a good record of being a really good
Yeah,
player. The past couple of years, Simp has been one of the worst respawn players in the league. You
I
can
think since MW2 has started.
Yeah, you can look at the statistics. I mean, he just doesn't do damage. He doesn't do that much on the. He's just got a good KD most of the time. And yes, obviously he's simp. Sometimes he goes on a 17 kill streak, but in those other matches where he's playing against top teams, he's not doing good in hard points. And
And
Celian the same way. He plays the game poorly in my opinion. I think Abuza, team wise, will be an upgrade in HPs. But now you've got O4 and Simp at the sub. And both of those guys aren't the greatest HP players. I think you're going to see the same inconsistencies as you did with FaZe originally, but they're going to be a worse roster talent wise. I think that HPs are going to be at the same level, except they're not going to have pop off moments really. And I think that the S&D took a little bit of a fall off because now instead of Celium and Abe, you have Abuza and O4. While I like O4 and S&D, Abuza is not either of those players in S&D. Let's get that straight. So I think they'll be
yeah,
less dominant in S&D, and I think they'll have the same hardpoint struggles. And
I
they're
will say though,
go
to
ahead.
just cut you off, if Simp has another I'm Simp, I can do what I want on the map year, this team on paper might be one of the best we've ever seen. And that's just it. I think the team really relies on Simp. And I think, and I hope he has the fire because we know what Simp can do. But you are right. Since MW2, he's been trying to get hill time more, and which I never liked because these games are very throw an AR in the hill. You see Dashy doing it,
Yeah,
throw an AR in the hill, and I'm not saying like, oh, prioritize this, but I'm saying like if you can, the AR gets in the hill and your subs roam around the map, fry around it. Make it hard for them to like come to you. I
yeah,
don't like Simp sitting in the hill, and especially in MW2 season. Like I don't want to see Slasher getting ripped off a heady every hill and they get broke.
yeah.
Like they got broke so much because it's like I love Slasher, but in that game he was getting pieced, and
No, he
Simp
was.
should be running around. MW3 is the same thing, and it's like I don't want Simp, someone who should be contender of one of the greatest players of all time, to be like the hill guy. It's like it makes no sense. Like you're not gonna see Hydra sit in the hill soak because it's like he's putting pressure on the enemy team, and I feel like Simp for the longest time. I think he gets too. I have a BZ to kill everyone. I'm gonna play for the win, and he doesn't need to do that.
Yeah.
And, and obviously play for the win, but I think he needs to get out there and fry more and do more on the map because he's not doing enough. It's like you can get all you want, but you're not applying pressure like you need to be. This is your role. Like pull on AR if that's what you want to do.
Mm,
I think there have been talks where he wanted to go to AR,
yeah.
but this year I hope, and this is the only reason I say they win a major too, because I know what Simp can do. He knows what he can do. I've played against Simp before, and I he has put belt to ass not trying, and it's like, dude, he's one of the best players I've ever played against in anything, and I just think if he's really trying and he really like just goes into his own this year and he applies that pressure, having 04 would be really good. And because we saw with Neptune too, because Neptune applied pressure
Yeah.
on the map, and that really enabled 04 heavily.
Yeah.
And sometimes Neptune, you know, he wasn't doing the hottest, and 04 would still do his things. And sometimes 04 would hard cost him. Major four last year.
Mm,
He had a stinker series. They got top 12.
yeah. 100%.
And but I think they could be good. But like you said, Thieves, yeah, Thieves pack a punch to BZ and
They,
Hydra. That's an insane duo to let happen.
that is a crazy duo. I'm gonna say something. This might be a little opinionated here, right? I love Abizi, right? And personally, I think that if I were to pick one of the Tiny Terrors that I like more and I think is better, it'd be Abizi. But I want to preface this. For Optic, as an Optic fan, when I saw that that was happening, and you say like pick up Simp or something like that, there was a lot of rumors. Pick up Simp, see what you can do there. I think that Shotzi and Simp pairing would be the greatest SMG pairing ever. Obviously, that's not a hot take, but I think it would
No.
be way better than Shotzi and Abizi. I think that their playstyles wouldn't match if they played together. That being said, Hydra plays pretty similar to Shotzi. Maybe not as risky and more like, okay, I'm gonna move, do this, lay down. Shotzi just over chows a lot of stuff. He plays the most risky ball there is. But their play styles are eerily similar. So I don't know how well they work together. You saw last year with Envoy and Ghosty how they had their issues communicating and certain things that they were doing, and they went out there and got Abizi, obviously, to replace Envoy. And that is a ginormous change to pacing. I think it could work out really well. Obviously, it's two of the most talented players in the league, but I'm not 100% set on how dominant they'll be with that pacing. I don't know how
Um,
fast they're going to play as a team, to be honest. Usually, Scrap is moving a lot. That's why I liked them.
Kenny's the biggest factor
Yeah.
there, really, because it's you know what you're getting from Scrap. I think Scrap is a star player here.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless, I think the team is Scrap's team. Like you look, and I think he loves Envoy, obviously, but at the same time, BO6 especially. If your subs weren't doing anything on the map, you felt it. You
Hmm.
had their subs in your face, and if you're an AR, you're not getting that jackal up close, and you're just getting bullied. And you saw it sometimes. Scrap get bullied, and he's pissed. But he knows how to play the game. Scrap knows what he's doing, and if you can get Scrap in a power position, if you get him moving on the map, he's gonna fry everything, and you have the will to move wherever you want. Especially with how these maps are set up, there's gonna be ARs are gonna be heavy power positions, heavy. They want to move around the map how they can. And so just Hydra and Abizi, if you can have these two running around killing everything, I don't know. I think they'll be like, I think that three right there right now is enough. And Kenny,
Yeah.
it really depends on how Kenny plays. I think Kenny, because we see it like they'll Deep's troll like every year
Yeah.
they're good, and then it's like I don't know if it's Scrap his mentality or what. And he's just like we're just so much better than everybody. We play down the competition
Yeah.
sometimes. They'll troll a lot, but I think Kenny will just have to be patient with them. I don't want to see him get because I know how he wants the game to be played a certain
That's
way.
that's my real worry with this roster. Obviously, they're gonna win. I have no doubt that they're gonna win. That's a no brainer. The question is how much. And when you
Yeah.
talk about inconsistencies last year, um, Ghosty and Envoy are some of the most inconsistent players in the league. And then trading out those two inconsistencies for Kenny, who I'd argue is more inconsistent than both of them. Um,
It's hard to
that's
say Kenny's inconsistent because I will say he is inconsistent, but it's not in the same way.
yeah,
Because I think Kenny's more inconsistent as like, dude, you don't know what you're getting this COD. You might get Kylo Kin
no,
or
I
you might
agree.
get Quavo Kin off he's off something, he's off the juice. Like he's not shooting straight. Like last year he was not
Yeah.
shooting straight. It was not his year, but he also did play different when he went played with Rocker, I will say.
I think that was just an ego thing, to be honest with you. Like, looking
Maybe.
at it, like, they had their we disagreed in play styles and stuff like that. But even in listen-ins, you heard, like, Kenny saying, I'm going to play for old. There's 10 seconds of old on P2 Vault. Why would you play that? You know that's not a good play. It kind of felt
He's
like he just
checked. He's
wanted to
checked that.
disagree with Hook. They didn't mesh well together. Love Kenny for the ring and all that he did for Optic, but I think it was time for a change, 100%, and probably well before that too. Um,
I'll I'll agree with him with one thing though. When he had Pred, like he said multiple times, he's like, "You're a pro player. I should not be telling you how to play the game."
yeah,
That's real. Like I know Pred took a break, but it's like you gotta stay on it. You gotta learn.
yeah,
Like you're coming onto a team that you just won a world championship with. They're expecting more wins. You can't drag them down.
yeah,
And
hundred
I
percent.
love Pred, but he kind of did them dirty.
Yeah, dude, I love Pred too. And to be honest with you, before we won champs, I was like in the mindset of keep Pred, whatever you do, keep Pred, because that
Same.
guy is like talent wise, he's up there, bro. Like he almost did gave Seattle wins just by himself.
People don't look at that, and it's like, yes, he had. I think Mac is one of the biggest enablers for that man
Yeah,
right there. if he has a sub like that, and I mean Shotzi too, because Shotzi can play that way. 'Cause Shotzi is like a do-it-all sub, I
Yeah.
think,
You know,
because he'll fry and he'll enable you.
I think as an Optic fan, and you look at some of the early game struggles with Optic sometimes in games, and you just think like, ooh, Shotzi isn't performing as well. And then as the years go by, you kind of realize that Shotzi is the most risky player ever, obviously. In the beginning of games, he's literally just trying everything to see what works. And by
Mhm.
the end of the year, he's the best player, he's the smartest player, and you can't stop him. So I've come to expect, like, I'm cool if Optic loses like 50% of the matches, the first major, and then,
Yeah.
50% the second. Because in the end of the day, I know that when it comes champs time, Shotzi's going to be right there and he's going to know
Oh, yeah.
everything.
I don't think he's really had a bad end of the year ever. I
No.
think every time it gets to the end of the year, whether they plays top six at champs or what, I think he's
Yeah.
always been good. In MW2 season, I know they could have won it, and people don't look at that and it's like they're going for the 3P, but even in MW2, like they're right there, and it's like a couple mistakes. Like sure, New York beat them. Maybe they would have gotten second if they made it to grand finals against New York.
Yeah. Well, to be honest with you, I'm kind of glad we didn't win it in MW2. Because if
Yeah,
they did, then they're not dropping Hook. And I
that
wanted Pred on Optic more than anything.
and we would have had Ghosty. I don't like Ghosty as a player.
mm,
I was a big advocator for when he came in the league, but I think if you look at Ghosty, there's a clear reason he's not succeeding in the way he should be
yeah.
because he's obviously good, but he's inconsistent, and I don't think it comes from just doing bad in games.
I think it's his attitude.
I think he has a bad attitude, and I
Yeah.
don't think he wants to grind. And I mean, we saw it with Dashy. Dashy's been there before. Being an
Yeah.
Optic fan is it sucked to see Dashy do that sometimes.
100%.
And even if you're an Illy fan, it sucks to watch Illy do that sometimes. Because Illy's another player I played against, and if he wants to be, and maybe he's on something.
I think
But he can be the grossest player you've ever played against. And then sometimes you watch him and you're like, what is he doing?
I
And then he's not even in the league now. It's
I
kind of
think with
his
Ilya
own
it's
problem.
different. I think with Ilya it's
It's
different.
it's
He
way
was
different,
always a
but
grinder. His mentality was always grind first. I don't think it was his mentality necessarily that took him out of it. The injuries screwed him over bad, and I think it was just like spiraled from there. Um,
there's some personal issues there. But I just mean like in terms of like you can be this top player, and I wish like they wouldn't let these outside factors get to them because
yeah.
I don't know what Ghosty is, but I see him in e-girls chats all the time, and it's like, dude, get on the game and play. Like, what are you doing? You're on a super team. Play the game. You have Scrap right next to you.
I'm not
It's
gonna
like
lie, I was
any
thinking the same thing.
it's like anybody would be feeding to be in your position and shoot gun, and it's like now
yeah.
you have Ken. Ken's taking your spot, and it's like Ken just had his worst year of his career, and he just took your spot. How does like that's gotta feel awful as
Yeah.
a player, and it's like I'm because it gotta make you feel like you're degressing, and now you're on a team. And I think Envoy is underrated. He's a world champ for a reason. But yes, there are inconsistencies there. You can't. It's hard to look past it. He's like that in Cold War. I still think Cold War and Formal and Envoy kind of sold them at champs in Cold War
Oh yeah.
heavily. They're kind
Oh
of just.
yeah.
It looked like they weren't trying on that map. Like, I'll never forget that raid hardpoint.
No, that hurts.
Like that. But yeah, Envoy has inconsistencies. Now they're on a team where I think every player on that team has a chance to be inconsistent. That's a team that could win a game against Optic and then lose to Surge
Yeah.
the next day.
100%, I agree with that. Um, to be honest with you, I wanted going back to Phase when we were talking about '04, right? I wanted them to pick up Kismet. Them to pick
I
up
thought
Kismet.
that was a good shot. When we were at Champs, we're watching Champs, and I saw FaZe lose, and I was like, they're making a roster change for
Oh yeah.
100%. And I said, the biggest look at if I'm Simp, because it's he's got the keys. I'm picking up Kismet.
Oh yeah.
I think Kismet is one of the most underrated players, and that's the only reason I look at Falcons and I say they might be good.
I was thinking the same thing. That's kind of why I brought it up because we were just talking about Pred and Celium, and then I brought it. I think that honestly, that team is going to be awful. I think that they've got the most. I Yeah, I'm sorry.
I,
I
I
think
don't
they've
blame
got
you,
so much talent. Just the Pred and Celium
but
duo is
you're
brutal.
right.
Exnid's super. I think he's got talent, but I don't know. I've listened to some of their comms. They're terrible.
Oh my
They're
God,
awful. You can't Celium can't you can't understand him. You
he
can't
can't hear
understand him.
Xnet,
Pred's
and
literally
they're
saying, "What? What did you say? What do you?" In the middle of
and then you're like,
scrims.
all good, fam, all good.
Yeah, and
And then they're
it's
just running around. Have you seen them play? They're just
yes,
running.
it's trolly. I watched them
And
lose to the
X,
Stallions, by the way, in scrims
the
with
Stallions are
Zuma
awful. They're
with
awful.
Zuma playing, cooked out of his mind.
Swootie's gotta go.
I don't. Oof.
He's a fryer, but the way he plays, dude, I keep seeing him hit old for 5 seconds, and then he's tweaked. He's like, "Why is someone still here?" And it's like, "Why are you hitting that?"
Speaking of the
And it's so
tournaments,
consistent.
I I agree with you partially. I don't think Swootie's got to go yet. I think Swootie's got to prove himself. I don't think
He's
he's got
got to
to go
learn how
yet.
to
If he
play.
doesn't prove himself, you pick up Kips. If you watched the flank invitational tournament they just threw, um, Kips was nasty. Kips was disgusting. He was hanging with pros, no issues whatsoever. And
I will
he
say, I'll
performed
say one
really well.
thing. We're in an M15 meta right now. Let's get through it, and let's talk about like people getting dropped or whatever. Because when it's a one gun meta, I feel like
Mm.
people don't play as good as they can, or some people play way better than what they could. I
Yeah.
know Dashy's frying. I see Dashy hitting world stars on people,
Oh yeah.
and if you're a fan of Dashy, and it's like this is not Dashy. Like this is a guy who he might slide out and beam you, or he might just sit on a heady and you're not ripping him. But if he's wall bouncing and he's ripping you, and he's challenging you up close, something's right. He just knows. He knows the gun's broken. It's like
Yeah.
people don't play like how they are. They know the gun's stupid, and they're like, I can get away with this.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how challengers and everything like that plays out. Obviously, I want to cover a little bit more challengers going into this year. We've
I I
struggled
will
doing it a
say
little bit.
before the year goes on, I won't I won't be shocked if we see a lot more challenger players going to the league this year. I don't think teams are going to be willing to make changes the first two majors. I think we might see teams stick it out major one fully and going into major two. But I
Hmm.
think some of these top challenger players, but I mean, you still have some ex pros in the challengers right now. So
I
I think bottom teams might just sub out one player. It's going to scapegoat. You're going to see some scapegoats.
I sort of disagree with you on this one
Really?
because last year we saw like the most challengers players get picked up ever. It was
Yeah.
an influx of AMs just coming in. Some of them doing really well, some of them doing really poorly. And I think everybody in the league right now, besides a handful of players that are already cemented and older, um, those spots just aren't going to open up. You got Seattle roster all young, probably not making many changes, if any at all. These rosters, they either have solidified vets that are probably not going to underperform, and if they do, they're not getting dropped. The only players I could really see getting switched out are like a Skies, a Slasher,
That's mainly what I was talking about. But I can see anybody on that Carolina Royal Ravens roster just get swapped out at any point. But you got to think
yeah,
it depends. If you're a bottom barrel team, I'm really looking at the bottom four. I think if you're in the top eight this year, you're probably gonna try and stick it through
yeah,
and just get better, which I would hope so, because you can be in that top like bottom four to like top eight range, and you can. I mean, you could really get better, but some of those players don't have the mindset. Like if you watched, and I know it's hard, but Cammy at the end of last year when they went to winners finals against Optic, he was like, we
hmm
weren't winning, we weren't gonna beat them. He's like, you don't
yeah.
understand. They put belt to ass in scrims for a month straight.
I
There's
think
no
Purge said
chance
that.
to beat them. Would Purge say it?
I think Purge. No, it was Purge. It was Purge because he was interviewing and he was like, "We're gonna get slammed." And I was like,
But
dude, why would you even think that? I love Purge, by the way, but why would you even say that? Just like,
and that's a little different because it's at the end of the year, and they probably we didn't see the scrims, but they were probably getting slammed. They had to have been getting
I
slammed.
think they said they played like
But they what I
So
heard
many
is that
scrim sets and they only won 1 HP.
what I heard is Optic played them the most, and it's got to be the case. I mean, you see them get top tier champs. Like
Yeah.
they were pretty good at the end of the year. They upset Thebes and stuff. So, but I think a team like that is like they had a middle of the run pack. They stuck it out, uh, and they got better at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I don't want to see these teams get dogged in scrims and just be like, I can't shoot against
Yeah.
Dashy. I can't shoot against Scrap. Let me go find a different team.
What I will say about Boston, speaking of like the tournaments and everything, Cammy did win the first one. You know, the first tournament, Cammy was the winner. He looks pretty damn good right now, I will say. And I like Cammy personally. I've been really upset that he hasn't been performing well. Until last year, I
I
thought
will
he
say,
performed really well.
I will say, in his defense, Raid is back. Cold
Raid
War
is
Cam,
back. Raid is
Cold War
back.
Cam might be back.
You're no, 100%. What I will say though is I thought Awakening 100% was the worst player on that team. They should have made a change immediately. They could have won. They
Yeah,
realistically could have won something. And I'm not the biggest Snoop fan. I don't think he's the greatest. I think he took a big step forward last year after a terrible MW3 season. He looked awful. But last year he looked pretty good. Purge looked really good. I thought Cammy looked really good. I think Awakening looked really bad, but they all played good COD. And I think the nasty pickup is the icing on the cake. I think that one person change on a core that was already doing really well. You swap out your worst player with a player that you know is consistently good. He works well with teams. He's super underrated. He has found himself on these underrated rosters. Nobody thinks they're gonna do anything, and he always goes to grand finals with them. You
yeah.
saw it on Thieves.
And in
You
the
saw it
finals,
last
mentioned
year.
too, he's not dropping point eights or whatever.
Yeah.
He's giving you well above a 1.0, and he's doing like objective things.
Yes.
Like I'll see that guy plant bomb, and it's like you're an AR planting bomb on a protocol, and it's
Yeah.
like, whoa, wait, this is insane. It's like you don't care, like you'll do anything for to get this win,
Yeah.
and so that's a player you look at, and I'm glad that he got a spot like that because I think that will, because like you said, top three teams are pretty much cemented every year,
You know, people
but
people were saying that
they can
they
sneak into that fourth.
yeah, no. I think people were saying that they were surprised that Nasty didn't get picked up to a good team. And I'm sitting here thinking like Boston is a good team. I think Boston, to be honest with you, will be consistently top 4. And I think they might
Yeah.
come away with one finally. That Boston team, to me, I really like it. I'm not gonna lie. After watching last year and everything, now they got Nasty. I think they'll take some steps forward. I'm hoping to see something out of them. And finally, out of a team not named LAT Phase or Optic.
I'm hoping that for this year, just another team steps up to the plate and wins something. And Surge, they really tried last year. They really tried.
Hmm.
It was hard. Also, I think we got to cut it
Yep.
here. I got to
Yeah. Yeah.
go.
All right, guys, that is going to be the end of our first episode. Obviously, like I said, it's just sort of an intro. We'll do our preseason rankings, everything like that. We just wanted to get a little introduction going, get our feet wet for the season. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us on the Duoq podcast, episode 1 of the Black Ops 7 season. Thank you very much. Catch you later.
Adios.